Alright, let's do this. If you have ever played The Elder Scrolls III Morrowind, I'm sure your experience was met with confusion and death at almost every single turn. And you don't really turn that fast, as you'll come to find out pretty soon. The low-level enemies that you fight can't seem to ever be hit. And all this time that you're spending trying to kill them just ends up leading to your death. Let me tell you, that's not the Morrowind experience that I remember. I intend to show you exactly how the canon Merabareen lived his life. It was an incredible sight if you lived upon this time in Vardenfell. If he was upset, he would rain the stars down on the people. With no remorse. No one could touch him. The people lived in pure chaos. All pure chaos and fear all of the time. For no settlement was ever safe from the wrath of what you can accomplish in this game. I would like to unlock the secrets for you. I am trying to teach you how to fish so that I can watch you cook. My friend, this game is legendary, and I would like to show you why it is just that. Come on. So pick up that controller and follow me into the lands of Vardenfell as we will delve deep into the abyss of this game. We will learn extensive knowledge in the ways of alchemy. This knowledge will be taught directly from the Elric brothers themselves, as we will learn how to summon and instantaneously soul trap at the same time. And from this, anywhere at any time, we can create legendary artifacts for our own, such as constant effect, levitation, and health regeneration. Yes, that is what I am talking about. You're on the go, you can't rest, not a problem. You can recharge any of your gear at any time. It is not an issue. I will teach you all of the ways of the Master Wizard, and we will have infinite access to armor, weapons, and gold. There are plenty of other secrets locked away in this video, you just have to stay to find out. As we'll be turning our spells into the very stars themselves. So, come with me. Join me as we traverse past the Ghost Gate and unlock all of the secrets within. I have been very patient with this video. This game means very dear to me, as it is the first item that I have ever received in my life that wasn't given to me by my family or Santa Claus. Yes, my friend's cousins gifted me Morrowind one Christmas, and this changed my perspective on the world. So I believe it is my duty to give back the knowledge that I have learned from jumping into the darkness.
They have taken you from the Imperial City's prison, first by carriage and now by boat. To the east, to Morrowind. Fear not, for I am watchful. You have been chosen.
Wake up. We're here. Why are you shaking? Are you okay? Wake up. Stand up. There you go. You were dreaming. What's your name?
You see, we're the new guy in town, and we're gonna go with High Elf, but if you choose to go with Khajiit or Argonian, just know that they are beast races, and they are not able to wear boots in Morrowind, meaning you're gonna have to get your speed elsewhere, aka skooma. So we're gonna go with High Elf because they have the highest weaknesses out of all the other races, which I would consider them to be the hardest race to play. But ultimately, the choice is yours, and there are really no wrong decisions here. Once inside the office, we'll fill the papers out ourselves, and the way that I have this character sheet set up is for building a perfect character. If you want your attributes to reach 100 across the board, then you're definitely going to want to have endurance and luck as a favorited attribute. For your major and minor skills, it doesn't matter as much, but you at least want to have one of each of the 7 attributes attached to at least one of your skills here on your major and minor skills. I would also recommend not going for alchemy on either major or minor, as we're going to be leveling that up insanely fast. For those of you that wish to have the highest amount of health that you can start in the game, you're going to want to go for the lady for that 25 points of endurance. For everyone else, it really doesn't matter. I'm going for their astronaut for the 50 points of spell absorption and that ×2 to our intelligence. The stun magicka is really going to have no effect on us. Finishing up here, you can see our major skills have reached a certain threshold that has granted us a handful of spells, and we gotta like that. That's actually why I went with that selection of major skills, so I wouldn't have to buy those spells later. Morrowind's telling us to read our identification papers, and as we can see, if we go around here, we can't actually pick anything up, and that's because Morrowind wants us to really interact with these papers here. So let's pick it up. We don't actually have to pick it up. All we have to do is look at it for a second, and then we can start stealing shit.
Do you take me for a fool?
Maybe a little bit. Once we have that limeware platter in our inventory, we're going to want to drop it on the table before the guard comes and takes it away from us. Because that's our 650 gold that we definitely want, that we definitely need, okay?
Continue through to the next building and talk to Celes Gravius.
In this next room, I'm going to pick up the firmament because it's some lore background on our astrology signs, and I think it's pretty cool. I'm going to put it in my house. And everything else in this room is basically something that we would steal, except for the lockpick and the flint on the table, which is really the only important items. Morrowind's gonna tell us here to look in the barrel because there's a ring for us, and this is actually a very important ring. Our very first interaction with the healing item and the start to a quest. So we can come over here and we'll find
your papers, please.
A warehouse key on the shelf.
You've stolen
and
for
we
the
can
last
pick it up
time.
and immediately enter our inventory before he tries to steal back our items. Remember, anything that you picked up with a red border is considered stealing, so that must be dropped. As you can see, there's actually not an opportunity for us to save here, so if you would actually prefer to do this an easier way without having any chance of being caught, we would open our menu, pick the item up, and immediately drop it, as well as any other stolen goods. Exiting the menu, we would then be procced with him trying to take our shit. So this is the indefinite way of not having it fail on you. So once you're ready, let's talk to Celes Gravius and ask him about Morrowind and then our duties, because that allows us to leave this tutorial area. And seeing this good luck menu means that we can get our first save. And that's because there's a guard patrolling the warehouse grounds, and we don't want him to catch us. Once inside, I'm going to grab a quick save before interacting with these 2 barrels here, and that's because there's always a guaranteed 20 stack of Restore Fatigue alchemy ingredient items. Now, it's randomized, so we're looking for the weight of 0.1, so we don't want to carry the eggs. I'm also going to grab the shipping log because it looks cool, and underneath the shipping log in the 2 crates are moon sugars. We're going to head upstairs, still being cautious of the guard, and there's some more Restore Fatigues. There's some skooma in that crate. There's 250 iron arrows and more moon sugars. Guaranteed every playthrough, baby. Now, once back outside, we'll find a wood elf wandering around the town grounds named Fargoth, and he's actually the owner of the ring that we found earlier in the barrel. Giving it back to him actually sparks a quest for us. He'll tell us to go to Ariel's trade house, and he actually has some wonderful prices because we helped his friend out. Now, it is important to note that we can sell and buy things at the same time. We're going to want to sell our limeware platter for a hefty 420 or around there, and we're going to also want to buy 2 stacks of frost damaging scrolls. So that will be a total of 4 Dorothy's Winter Guests. Yes, once we're done with the scrolls, we'll head over to the spells and we're going to buy a Resista Magica. Extremely important that we pick this spell up, and I will explain that in a few minutes. Fireball is used for a quest later, and Hearth Heal is just good to have for that health regeneration. Now, don't want to forget our drugs. Skooma and Moon Sugar. We're gonna head upstairs and talk to Hariskar because he is going to have the quest that progresses with Fargoth. And we're basically about to 2-time that little fetcher and the Flatfoot at the same damn time. So to ensure that we do not have this quest bug out at all for us, this is how I like to perform it. We're gonna rest until 10 p.m. You can see that it's 10 p.m. and that little fetcher's got his torch out. Perfect. We're gonna make sure that we rest outside. Very important that we rest outside before entering the lighthouse. And once we've done that, we're going to head all the way to the top, and as soon as we see that little fetcher sneaking around, we can then start making a move. I'm going to jump off of the lighthouse, and I'm going to head to the left side where there's a tiny pond and a stump. And if we jump on top of this stump, there'll be an iron shard axe waiting for us to grab. And you can tell that Fargoth's not too happy about this. Of course. But he has our loot.
If there is anything I can do, I am humbly at your service.
Where's that slave?
Yes.
Here not long ago.
Give me back my loot, sir. Thank you, young fetcher. And now, once he has walked away from the tree stump, we can gather our loot and continue. We'll be heading northwest out of the town, and don't worry about any of the enemies, for the guards will eventually get to them. Following along the bay, we'll find these 2 boulders and a scrib walking around, leading us to a certain Processus Vitellius, who has a journal entry for us about the tax records and the gold that we're going to pick up from his body. Continuing north back towards the road, we'll be greeted with a certain legendary audio of Tarheel, who has created the Icarian flight scrolls that we're definitely going to want to pick up. Making our way back towards town, we're going to pay no mind to any of the enemies following us, because again, the guards will take care of them. But we're looking for Forian Gilnith's shack, and that is because he is actually the murderer of the taxman. So we're going to make sure to equip our Dorothy's Winter's Guest, our frost scrolls that we bought. We bought 4, but we only need 2. So once we confront him about this murder, we need to be sure not to activate the first dialogue option. That is going to ruin the quest. We do not want to do that. We're going to say sorry, but that is no excuse for murder, and your punishment has been decided by us. Goodbye. He's going to try to throw hands, but it's alright. You just got to hit him with two scrolls, and that's it. Be sure not to miss, because you can definitely miss, alright? So, once we actually examine his loot, we can find the Processus Vitellius' ring on his corpse, which is the best unique ring that has no enchantment in the game. And it's at the starting town, Seyda Neen.
What's this regarding?
We're going to take this information back to the offices where we created our character, and what we're going to do is tell him what we did, and he's just going to give us 500 gold. You see, that's how you complete this quest the proper way. Let's take a look at the improper way, all right? From Mr. Kitty Cat over here. If you decide to choose the first option, or not even talk to him at all and just kill him straight up, and you go back to Socius, Mr. Urgala, there's going to be a different set of options, as you'll see. And if you select the first one, he's going to reward you with 500 gold septims, but then take 200 away. And then if you say the bottom option, you actually get nothing. So you can, it's your choice. You can either choose to walk away with 200 gold like Mr. Kitty Cat here. You can choose to walk away with 500 gold, or you can choose to walk away with the whole 700 kapow. Yeah.
I should have
This
killed
this save we're not gonna reload
Give
this
in.
save. So let's take a look at the grand finale of Seyda Neen. If we do the quest properly and Fargoth's quest, we will be leaving with 1,000 big ones. And yeah, that's after buying 3 spells. Making sure to be grabbing that Resista Magica, of course. And we will be moving on to the hub of all places, Balmora, of course. Now, if you're a veteran, you could basically completely skip Seyda Neen, but for the video's purpose, it just didn't feel right, so that's why we did Seyda Neen first. Now, here in Balmora, there will be an overwhelming amount of things to do here, but we're going to ignore all of that and head directly to the Mages Guild. And this is because once we join the Mages Guild, all of the items inside, basically everything, becomes available for our taking, such as this Mages Guild supply chest, which will have 10 Magica potions and an Alm Civi intervention. That's all I'm going to need to take. You can head upstairs after that.
What is this about?
And speak with Galberdier, because she's going to have another 2 stacks of fire damaging scrolls. So we're going to have 2 frost scrolls from Seyda Neen, and then we're going to have another 4 of fire damaging scrolls. We're going to need all of those for what's upcoming next. And then we'll see that there's another Limor platter on Galberdier's desk waiting for us to take. And we would not be able to take that unless we are part of the Mages Guild. I usually come down to these barrels and put all the random shit that I have in my inventory on top of them, make it look nice and pretty. And then we're going to head down into the basement. And this is where my living area is, so I like to take all the bullshits out of here. And then once that's completed, I'm going to come to Mayrendren and I'm going to buy his open spell, because that's going to be extremely handy moving forward. And then we have Estradaline here, who's going to be creating our own custom spells. And we can finally be putting that Resista Magica to use that we bought in Seyda Neen. If you're a high elf like me, we're going to need to create 2 spells, the first one being a 50% Magica reduction for 3 seconds, and the second one being 100% Magica resistance for 1 second. If you're not a high elf, then you can just make the 100% Magica resistance for 1 second. And that is going to be coming in handy very, very soon. I'm going to finish picking up the rest of the junk, and then I'm going to put some candles down. Yes.
Anytime now.
Okay. Let's move on. We have that open spell that we just purchased, and you can see this closet. It does not have a red border, and it's just waiting for us to unlock it. I'm going to drink the Flynn because I'm over and cucumbered, and then we're going to head over to Caldera so we can finally begin the processes of our O-P-ness.
You want something?
Let's immediately head down the stairs here.
Good day. Let's do
Haven't I heard of you?
And we'll find this crate here. I like to put all of the junk from Balmora, everything I don't want, just in this crate, because it'll all fit. And then once that's completed, we'll notice that there are 3 bottles of Flynn ready for our taking. We gotta love it, baby. So let's exit and head out the north gate of Caldera, and we're just gonna follow the road all the way until we find a gentleman that has almost as much swag as us.
Don't stand about.
Krolmar Winesot is the man that we're looking for. And he's going to be wanting some assistance about a festering witch, and we're definitely going to want to assist him with this bitchy witch who has stolen his axe. We'll get it back for him, because this guy is our bro. He's a true companion. He will fight by our side no matter who it is in front of us. Come behind this rock. There's also an orc here asking for some help. He gives you a diamond if you complete his quest, if you're interested. But we're going to continue down the road until we find a certain somebody. And this person is, so when I look at this, the way that I would sound it out is Pemenic, right? That's the way that I would sound it out. That's what it looks like to me, right? But ChatGPT, on the other hand,
Bitch.
come again?
Bitch.
I guess that's what it reads.
Bitch.
If you want something, now's the time to talk.
Alright, so bitch here really wants to talk. She wants to make a deal with us about some nonsense. Something about wanting to escort her Bullshit. Boots of blinding speed. That's all that we see. That's all that's in my vision. So we're going to decline her little deal here, and I'm going to just straight up start attacking. And our bro here, he's going to fight until his last dying breath for us. So we're just going to let this play out, and I'm going to help him out, you know, just to expedite the process. But she will never hit us. She will never hit us or Holmar, all right? Because she's 100% blind. She can't see anything. So don't worry. You don't even have to use the sword. You can use whatever weapon. But we're going to want to take her out.
I will bathe in your blood.
Yep. I'm just going to want to take her out. We get a journal entry there. And that's the way it's looking. Okay. And the reason we did that is because she has the boots of blinding speed. These are the best boots in the game. And when you first put them on, you're like, whoa, man. These are not the best. I'm blinded. What's going on here? It seems a bit chilly. It's probably because you're nipping, dude. But we're going to use those 2 spells that we created in Balmora. Alright? Let's do this. So, because I am a high elf, I'm going to need to cast 2 spells. Everyone besides the high elf and beast races, because beast races can't wear boots, so you can't even do any of this. We're looking to activate the spell. You can see that we have 50% Magicka resistance active right now. High elf, we're going to have to spam escape so that way we can get a save, because we're most likely inevitably going to fail our next cast. So let's just save, reload while we have that other spell active. You can see it just disappeared there. But once we have 100% or 150%, because you can see here weakness to Magicka. Once we have 100 resistance to Magicka, or 150 because we're high elf, we can equip the boots and you resisted the magic. That is what I am talking about. There's no other boots that are better than these in the game that'll give you a constant effective 200 points of speed. That's literal insanity. Look at this. That's insane. Okay, from this point, we're going to head directly up this hill and deal with the festering witch, Sosia. You can see that she has this huge elaborate plan for us to go do some more bullshit, but none of that matters. Whatever she says, we just have to hear her offer and then come over here and we got to just tell bro that we are on his side. We are with him, okay? And they're immediately going to start combat with each other. Now, if you choose at any point to attack Socio,
you will die where you stand.
She will only ever hold aggro onto you, okay? And you can see that her staff actually has this red explosion. That means she's doing attribute damage, and we don't want to be hit by that, okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to equip our frost damaging scrolls and wait for Holmar to knock her ass out, and then when she's down, we're going to use the scrolls on her. Because she has a health potion that we don't want her to use because it's really annoying and it would be more than 2 scrolls. So, as you can see, I didn't pick up the axe here, and he's basically our follower. So you could actually just have a follower from here on out if you leave the axe on her corpse. But as soon as we place the axe in our inventory and leave this loot menu, he's going to question us about the Cloud Cleaver. You see? And you can say it belongs with me, the true warrior, but if we just give him the axe, we get 2 free points of strength, and that you cannot pass that up.
Come on then, say something or move on.
But you see, he's got a hot mouth now that he's got his axe on him, so we're going to pull out our fire damaging scrolls that we bought, the 4 of them, and we're going to explode his ass. We have to use the scroll and wait because it takes like a second for all that damage to go through, and if you don't do it and you use all of them too quick, he's going to still be alive and he'll kill you. Okay, but we're gonna loot his axe because it's 1,000 gold. We're gonna leave with the boots of blinding speed equipped with 0 blindness, a new robe, and 2 points of permanent strength. We're looking gravy, baby. We're gonna head back into Caldera, and we're looking for a specific manor. This manor will be located basically in the center of Caldera, and the one we're looking for is going to be none other than the Gorak Manor. And once inside, we'll head directly up to the second floor, because we are going to be greeted by the most unique of scamps in all of Elder Scrolls, the Creeper. Creepin', he's just creeping. you see? And he will buy everything, just about everything, at full price. So if you're trying to sell him a weapon and it's not full price, it's because the quality of the weapon has been degraded under 100%. So with that, if you followed along up to this point, you should have around 3,000 gold, almost 4,000, and a clear inventory, clear vision of what we need to do next, which is let's start buying a whole bunch of spells. I'm going to head to the Governor's Hall in Caldera, and there's a specific mage I'm looking for right here in the first room.
Speak quickly, Outlander, or go away.
La Roche Uvain is going to have exactly the spells that we need. Slow Fall, Soul Trap, Telekinesis, and Tinier's Hop Toad. All very valuable spells right here at the Governor's Hall in Caldera. Let's head back to the Mages Guild, because from this point on,
Fresh game.
it is a fresh game and we are ready to now really become the gods that we're meant to be. We're going to head all the way up the tower, because at the very tippy top is a full Master's alchemical set waiting for us. Edward would be proud. Now, we're going to take this alchemical master set, and from here, before we get too crazy, I'm going to head back to Balmora, because there's just a few things that we can accomplish before really getting crazy. Now, after getting the boots, I like to head back to Balmora and head all the way to the Vassir-Didanat cave. And that's because we will be getting a sick reward here at the end of the video, so stick around for that. I'm going to Alm Civi directly from the cave, which will put us in front of the Balmora temple, and if we head all the way to the basement, we will find two mages that have all of what we need. An Alm Civi spell and a recall. And on the other side, we'll find Mark and Wisdom. So now we can teleport with Alm Civi. We can mark and recall teleport, and we have a Fortify attribute from Wisdom. So let's get used to teleporting and use it directly. Now we're only missing a Divine Intervention, and I didn't grab the scroll from the Mages Guild because we're going to be buying it here shortly. But before we leave Balmora, let's head over to the Eastern Guard Tower and head all the way up to the top.
Go ahead.
And we'll see here on top of this closet is a sword just waiting for us. Now, we're going to do this several times, but if there's any sort of object, any sort of terrain that is blocking you and an NPC, you are basically counted as having like 100 sneak. So we're going to use our telekinesis that we just purchased to then loot around 200 gold from the closet, and we will find the sword of White Woe hidden right on top, just out of sight. One of the unique weapons that are scattered all around Morrowind, just hiding right under our noses in Balmora. Who would have guessed? We're gonna hop over this ledge, head to the left to the legendary Caius Casade's house, where we can then further progress the main storyline. So we're not gonna do this, but I'm just saying this is where you would do that. So we could deliver the package, get that out of our inventory, ask about the blades. The blades trainers, actually very good information to get there. Ask about our orders, get 200 gold. I mean, look, just come to Caius's house, talk for a little bit, and then we can bounce. We don't need to spend too much time here. I'm gonna Alm Civi, and then we're gonna head back to the Mages Guild. Now, the reason we've been going around and buying spells is because even if you're not playing a mage character, if you have any form of a spell, as long as you have, like, let's say levitation, let's say open, if you have any form of it, you are able to create an enchantment or a new spell in spell making. I'm standing here at the basement at the spot where I'm going to mark myself, so I have access to my table, to the closet, and to the bed, which is perfect. Anytime I need to come back, I'll recall exactly back to this spot. Let me drop a few items, and then I'm going to check my spells to see what I have and what else I need to get. Now, I'm not going to want to use too much gold because we do need around 1,700 for the next step in Sadrith Mora. I noticed I didn't have levitation, so I'm coming over to Dren to grab that, as well as water breathing. And then I'm going to make a jump spell as well as a levitation spell. Now, levitation works off of your speed. So if you have 1 point of levitation, because we're wearing boots, it's basing that 1 point off of the 200 points of speed we're getting from our boots. So 1 point of levitation is actually all that we need. I'm going to just finish up setting all of my hotkeys up because I prefer to just... I hate opening up menus. I like to just use hotkeys to swap through all of my spells, items, and whatever I want to. And I would say that we're looking pretty good here. Let's head to Sadrith Mora. So here in Sadrith Mora, we're going to have the whole realm of our game change. At the Mages Guild, we're going to head down the stairs and we'll find the Wolverine Hall Imperial Shrine, which is exactly where we need to be. If we head to the left here, we will find the legend himself, Aunius Altris. This man has exactly what we need. Several spells, but for right now I just want to make sure to grab that divine intervention, but we will definitely be coming back for other spells later. But here is where we can really dive into mercantilism. So this is the way that it works in Morrowind. Let's buy 5 bloat. Perfect. Okay, so then let's sell 5 bloat back to him. Awesome. Now we'll see he has 10 bloat in his inventory. The thing that is happening here is when you sell back an item that a vendor restocks up on, they will always restock up on the highest number they have ever received. So that means that we can just complete... This is not an exploit, okay? This is the way that the game was created, and I love it for that reason, alright? Okay? Now what we're working towards is getting 130 Ashams. That we're buying 130 and we're selling 80. You can see the gold here. We have just enough, and once we go into our inventory, you'll see that we have 86 gold left. All right, I'm gonna equip that divine intervention, and we'll use it here in a couple minutes, but 130 Ashams and bloat is exactly the amount that we want. 86 gold, we're going to be using that still, so just try not to overspend when you're looking for spells. If you followed exactly along the way that I did, you should be just fine. Now I'm going to use this little lip here to nullify my fall damage, and talking about fall damage, I've got a little trick that I love to use, which is 50 points of jump or any jump spell, and in mid-air we're going to use levitation, 1 point of levitation for 3 seconds to nullify our fall damage completely.
Say what you want or go away.
Now we're looking for Purlet.
Is it necessary that you speak with me?
Yes, Purlet Rosterard is who we're looking for. And believe it or not, we're actually going to be using that 86 gold. We are going to be buying stone flower petals and creche fibers. And the reason why we can't actually see because they're hidden behind question marks, but it will become apparent here in just a few minutes. Basically going to buy as much as we possibly can. Just run through it. You see I was able to get 3 stacks of it. That is completely fine. 21 of each. That's all we need. And we're here. We've finally made it. We're about to start this epic alchemical journey, so I'm going to grab a save, and what we're going to be doing is using Ashams and bloat to create Fortify intelligence. And as soon as we create our first potion, we're going to drink that potion. Now, we want to do this every single time. For every single potion that we create.
Hey now, whatever trouble you're in, I want no part of it.
The reason is we're trying to min-max the amount of ingredients we have to use to get to 10,000 intelligence. And when we're doing this and we're around 550 intelligence, that's when we stop failing creating potions greatly. I mean, I just failed right here, so it's around 600 really, but we really are trying to maximize the amount of ingredient usage while keeping an eye on our level, because that's extremely important. Now, I don't want to go through the process of explaining how the level system works in Morrowind, but the gist is you get a threshold of 5 points each level, depending on what skills you've leveled up. So if you've leveled up alchemy, for instance, intelligence is attached to alchemy. So if you've leveled alchemy 10 times, then you're going to get 5 points whenever you level up towards intelligence. But each level, you will never get more than 5 points. So you can over-level alchemy, not allowing you to get the maximum amount of points for each level. And boom, we're here, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached 12,000 intelligence through the usage of alchemy. Edward and Alphonse would be so extremely proud. We are now going to put those stone flower petals and that cresh fiber to use by creating personality potions. I just took a look there at my level and I'm still good on my threshold, only at ×4 right now. So let's use all of those personality potions. Just create 10 more, still good on the threshold, and we are now at 10,000 personality, baby. Let's get a save. I'm going to call it sales, because that's exactly what the next step is. We're going to use this personality to skyrocket our sales skills into the stratosphere, okay? Absolutely insane. 12,000 intelligence, 10,000 personality. Insane. So Pierlette here is going to be our first little test subject because she's got that Draugr wax. Yeah, we're going to need to buy that, and then might as well just get the rest of her cresh fiber and stoneflower petals. Just, we don't need to come back here. I mean, we probably will to get some more later after we've leveled, because threshold bullshit, you know what I mean? But we're going to get all of this. If you have 1 gold to sell, and you're at 10,000 personality, you can sell, you can have the seller's max amount, and you can sell that, no problem. And it doesn't matter how much they want you to buy in a group of items for. 10,000 personality, you can always set it to 0. So at this point, I have complete confidence that you are a master in Morrowind's mechanics. So I'm going to do a lot less explaining and a lot more describing.
Let's set aside our rivalries and talk, shall we?
So what I mean by that is I'm just going to show that we did it. We sold 3 times. You can see thank you, please come again 3 times. Boom. I got 440 ash yams. I'm still looking at my level threshold. I'm keeping all of that intact, baby. Okay, we're going to go over to his spells. Absorb Health is one of the best spells in this game. We're going to grab Stamina so we can have Fatigue Regeneration as a spell and enchantments later. And oh, look at this. We're over in Cucumbered again. Well, ash yams and Draugr wax. We got a strength potion that just, there's nothing that we can't carry now. Okay? Then we'll come over to this guy in the same location, and he's going to have another set of items for us. Chokeweed, Salt Rice, and Marshmallow. We're going to buy that as many times as we can. We don't even need to haggle him, you know what I mean? Because the prices are just so cheap. But we're going to recall back to our spot, back to Balmora. And look, we still have, we have plenty of time on these bonuses. I mean, like, look at that. That's just from the very beginning, and they're about to, yeah, we got plenty of time. So I'm going to use these points to visit 1 more alchemist, 1 more merchant. Here in Balmora, if we head up to the rich part of the town, the northern area, we will find an alchemist shop up near the temple called Nalaria of White Haven. Fine alchemist. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Oh, my good friend, what happened to you? I think you should have that looked at by a healer.
So this is going to be our last selection of restocking items. Fire Salt, Frost Salt, and Void Salt. Then we're going to grab Slodge Soap, Trauma Root, and Racer Plumes. Going to do that as many times as my threshold will permit me. And you see my personalities at ×5. Perfect. And take a look at this beauty. Full inventory. So, This is what we got here. Asham's and Bloat. We got Fortify Intelligence. Asham's and Draugr will give us Fortify Strength. If we put up some Salt Rice and Marshmallow, we'll get Restore Health. If we put Salt Rice and Chokeweed, we'll get Restore Fatigue. What else do we got up in here? Maybe some Fortify Agility, Fire Salts, and Slod Soap, which will also give us a Fire Shield as well. And then we can throw in some Void Salt and Frost Salt for that Restore Magica, baby. What else do we got? We have the Stoneflower Petals and Kier's Fibers, which we've already created for the Fortify personality. We also have Racer Plumes and Trauma Root for that levitation. I mean, we have it all now. That's everything that we're gonna need and more. So I'm just gonna finish off the rest of my level. You see, I just got a level there. We still have one more threshold point that we can get, and just look at these potions. That's insane. Magicka 100 points for how many seconds? That's crazy. Come on now. So I'm just going to finish off the rest of the level, the rest of the threshold point with Fortify Alchemy. We're at +5. I got a little bit of extra potions there. And we're sitting so gravy and groovy. Baby, you have to love it. And this is it. This is finally it. We have one final step, which is to get endurance to the +5 threshold. And we just head over to the Fighters Guild. I chose Spear as my major skill, my first major skill. So of course, I'm going to level all the way up 10 points. And I'm going to have 11, as you'll see here. So I went over the threshold by 1 point, but that was because of I got 1 level to acrobatics. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's fine. 1 level is okay, but let's rest and get our first level up. +5 to endurance, which is the most important attribute that we have to be leveling up first. You want endurance to reach 100 before anything else. And then +5 to whatever else we got +5 for. Come on, baby. This is it.
You in.
How delightful.
You in.
Welcome.
You'll soon be nothing more than a bad memory.
So now's about the time that we'll be asking ourselves, well, where's the real power? I want to feel the wrath flowing through my fingertips onto my enemies. More so than what we just saw here with this assassin, which we will deal with all of that here in a little bit. But first, the reason we've been dealing with alchemy is because we need 10,000 intelligence. And the reason we need 10,000 intelligence is because at that point, we are able to create any of our own enchantments. And that's the real reason why we're doing all of this. My level 2 process, which was basically just a whole bunch of potion making. Whole bunch of potion making, sorting out my living area by putting my potions everywhere. That's why I emptied the entire place, is because I need space for all of my alchemical ingredients, items, and potions. Like, where else am I going to put them? I need a lot of space. And then at a certain point in the level, I'll go to Creeper and turn my 1,200 gold into 20,000 gold just through selling potions. And I mean, let's grab a save. We're creeping now. We are creeping up to full power. Let's just continue to get up to the max threshold and get a perfect level 3 under our belt. And we are so close to full power. I can taste it. We're level 3, zeros across the board, 20,000 gold. and we just got through making an ass load of potions. We are going to have no problem getting back up to 10,000 intelligence with all the potions I created this level.
Greetings.
So let's head directly over to Sadrith Mora, because this is where we're really going to start expanding our minds.
Get out of here.
You can see this guy wasn't too happy about us swindling him with the potions. So we're going to head to Sadrith Mora's capital, it would seem. Basically, in the center, there's this plant tower, Tel Naga, and we're going to enter and come straight below the stairs, because there is a grand soul gem just waiting for us. And we can actually use our agility potions. All we need to do is use one, and we'll have no problem stealing anything from here on out. Now, I want to take a second real quick to just talk about agility in this game. So agility affects your ability to dodge and hit targets in melee, as well as your maximum fatigue. And then we can see that sneak is attached to agility. So if you have agility just insanely leveled out with these potions, right, then it doesn't matter if your skill in, let's say, long blade or blunt weapon is 5. If you have your agility at 500 plus, you are going to be able to hit any enemy in front of you with any weapon. Doesn't matter what level it is. You see, we're in Tel Branora right now, and I came to the Great Hall of Tel Branora, and the location that we're at, you can only actually get to...
How do I know you're not up to something devious?
Oh, I am, Katie. I am definitely up to some deviation. The location that we're at, you can only actually get to through a levitation or jump spell. You can either enter the bottom and levitate through this hole, or enter through the door that I just came. Either way, we're going to need levitation or jump. And you see here in the middle of the hallway, there is another level to this building, another secret level, and we'll find the tower services here at the top. Once we enter the tower services, we will take a right and come into this room here.
Whatever you're looking for, I'm sure I don't know how to find it.
Oh, that is a lie. You are lying to me, because you have everything that we need. There's a grand soul gem there on the shelf there, but I bet you wouldn't have guessed that this little sly devil has hidden two up here. That's insane. I just recently found out about this. Now, if I'm not induced by one of these potions, then I'm not going to be able to steal this with my sneak looking at 15 right now, as you can see, right? We remember that sneak is attached to the attribute agility, so if our agility is skyrocketed, then no one can detect us. We don't have to use anything else but that. If that feels a little too cheesy to you, then we can just come over here and use our good old terrain blocking method to nullify our ability to be detected from anybody. And that telekinesis spell that we bought, that basic ass telekinesis spell that we bought, is enough reach to get all 3 soul gems. It's beautiful. From this point, I'm going to directly Divine Intervention back to Sadrith Mora's fort, and from here we'll head to our last Telvanni tower that we'll need to visit. So,
speak, traveler.
Sadrith Mora for 1 Grand Soul Gem, Tel Mora for 3 more Grand Soul Gems, and Tel Branora...
Speak quickly, Outlander, or go away.
...for our O-P-ness. No, I'm serious. This is seriously where we can turn our character into a god. This is where it happens. We're going to come to the top of Tel Branora, the upper tower, head down and up these floors, and take a right once we get to the top. We levitate up to this first room, and we'll find Felon.
Do you want something?
And yes, we do want something. We want your command creature, and we want your command humanoid. These are insane spells, and you definitely want to grab them. I'm also going to grab that Dire Weakness to Magicka. But this right here is why we've come here. Summon Golden Saint. That spell is absolutely madness. We can use the terrain blocking method for any sort of terrain. It doesn't matter if it's a bookshelf where you can clearly see through it. It counts as us being undetectable, and we're able to grab whatever we want. Just as some extra knowledge for you there. Let's head back out of the tower into the upper tower. Head back outside. And once we're here, we can then get the last part from Tel Branora. We can drop down one level, and we'll notice that that there's a little bridge heading to a door. And this door is a part of a structure that is not connected to this other structure.
How do I know you're not up to something devious?
Oh, I am, Enna. I am definitely up to some deviation right now. This other structure is connected only by this small bridge. There's only one way to get inside of this tower guard post, and that's through this door right here. And once we're inside, we can take a right, as usual, and we will find...
No, I don't think so.
Yes, I do think so. We will find everything that we need in here. These crates have some silver armor sets. They don't matter. What we're looking for is this closet. And guess what's inside of this closet? A full set of exquisite gear. An entire set. This is guaranteed every playthrough. There are some containers that have randomized loot. This is not one of them. Always you will find 2 exquisite rings, 1 exquisite amulet, and an entire set of items. But the thing to note about this is that we did steal this. So now that we know that we stole it, we have to talk about stealing in Morrowind, because that's actually extremely important for this whole next part. And everything connects. Everything connects. It'll all circle back and create a full loop. But we have to explain this first. Let's use Seyda Neen as our main example. It's the starting town, really small, easy to navigate what we're trying to do here. If we go over to our aisle, we sell him the exquisite pants that we just stole, and we buy them back. You would think at first, hey, maybe that helps me get rid of this stolen item brand on whatever item you're thinking. Well, it doesn't really work like that, and it's kind of a little more complicated than you might think. In every single town, there is some sort of guard post, and in every single guard post, there's some sort of chest marked evidence. And in this chest marked evidence, there is...
Get out of here.
Nothing at first. That is until you commit a crime and have to pay gold. And once you select the option to pay gold, the guard will then take whatever fine you have, but also any stolen items that you have ever stolen. Ever.
Get out of here.
But it starts to get a little bit more complicated when you look a little deeper. And I'm surprised, but I've not seen anybody talk about this.
Where would you like to go?
They actually give out the wrong information, and I've seen it quite a bit. I'm using New Guy a little bit from the future, but don't worry, we're about to get all of the items I have in my inventory. The thing to note here, though, is that I have 2 items specifically from a quest that we, again, will do here in a second.
Get out of here.
Again, you can see the evidence chest is empty. We pay the gold. The guard takes all of our stolen items, and we can see what's left in our inventory is a silk pants and the brocade shirt. All of the items that we stole, fine. Nothing weird, right? Let's go over to this basket, which is an owned basket marked by the red border, and we're going to drop our silk pants in there. Did you see what just happened? The silk pants then have now a red border. So let's go do the same process, pay the gold. Look at this, brocade shirt still in our inventory, and the silk pants have been taken from us. Because now the silk pants are marked as stolen items. And you would also think that if you steal an item, you could just drop it on the floor because it doesn't have a red border anymore, that it's not a stolen item. No, that's not true.
Get out of here.
As you can see, the exquisite pants are here, and the silk pants are here, the ones that we got from the quest.
I don't know if I can help you, but I'll try.
So then what do we actually do about any items that we've ever stolen? Well, for one, don't put them in any owned containers. Don't call your home somewhere where it has owned containers. That's for one. For two, we can enchant items, because when you enchant an item, it becomes a new item, erasing that stolen brand. But if you come to an enchanter, it's going to end up costing millions of gold. So we don't really want to do that. What's the next step? Well, we can enchant ourselves. And if we come over to Galbraith's desk, we can see that she has a Grand Soul Gem and a Greater Soul Gem that are already filled. So again, we're going to use this terrain blocking. We're going to bust out our telekinesis, and we're taking these gems, okay? That's what we're going to do. Take the Grand Soul Gem with Winged Twilight and the Greater Soul Gem with a Balmora. Because these are the last steps. We have the final pieces of the puzzle, and we can start this next step. Alright, let's blast our intelligence into the stratosphere. Again, 10,000 intelligence, and now we have 0 chance of failing any enchantment we try to make. We're going to use the Greater Soul Gem with the Balmora on it, and we're going to create our first item. Weakness to Magicka. We're going to use a touch for the range. We're going to set it to 100 and duration of 2 seconds. Then we're going to go up to our Absorb Health. Touch, 100 points for 2 seconds. This is the spell, and we can see our Exquisite ring has the perfect limit. We're at the perfect limit. Then we're going to use it again with the Winged Twilight, okay? And this is the item that we're going to create. Soul Trap, 18 seconds. On target, summon Golden Saint. 18 seconds. Be sure to get a save before your first summon. So we're summoning and soul trapping at the exact same time. And then we're going to use our other ring that we just created to kill this Golden Saint instantly. Now, Golden Saints spawn with different gear. As you can see, this one has a Balmora Tower Shield. And to get one to spawn with a Balmora Tower Shield actually takes quite a bit of time. And the ring that we created allows us to summon 6 Golden Saints. So we have 6 opportunities before we have to reload and try again. On top of the fact that Golden Saints naturally have 250 points of health, 50 points of fire, frost, and shock resistance, 100 points of normal weapon resistance, and a 20% chance to reflect. Makes this whole process quite the journey. So once you summon a Golden Saint with a Daedric Tower Shield, make sure to grab a save, because you only have 1 charge of our damaging spell. Not also mentioning the fact that it is extremely hard to loot the body of a dying Golden Saint before it disappears. I've had way too much time spent on just trying to loot the dying body. So now that we have half of full power in our inventory, we can now start getting real excited, baby, because from here on out in the video, all it is up from here. We're just more power, and as we can see, the enchantment for a Daedric Tower Shield is 225 points that you can put towards an enchantment. And also, a Golden Saint is one of the only 2 respawnable enemies in the game that will allow you to create a constant effect enchantment. With 225 points of enchantment power, we can fortify our strength from 1 to 89 points. This is the definition of madness, okay? This is insane. But I say we only have 1/2 of full power because it's not actual full power until you see what we're going to do next. We have one final step, one last step, and then we will get the full power. Now, if you can guess what that final step is, if you've already guessed what that final step is, then I commend you, because you're a true veteran. We're going to come over to Ebonheart. Appels Matthias.
Yes?
Is going to be the man that we want to speak to, wearing a full set of silver armor. And when we speak to him, we're going to be able to further advance the questioning of the Dark Brotherhood and find that there is a mage that will teleport us to Mournhold. So, once we get this information, we'll head down the bridge and enter the fort. And straight to our right is...
Care to tell me what this is about?
Ashin Rane will be the one to teleport us to Mournhold, because I fear I've been marked by the Dark Brotherhood, and I wish to investigate. Goodbye. We will exit and head directly to our right, straight to our right, into the Royal Palace Cult Services. And once inside, there'll be 2 temple mages.
Not much like
Today and
Somerset
tomorrow,
Isle,
good luck.
High Elf?
One of them will not do any services with us, but the other will. We do not have to be a part of the guild. We'll go to our spells, and we'll find everything that we have been looking for. Full power. Any one of these Fortify skill spells will do just fine. It does not matter. Once you have that, we will then create full power. We're still at 10,000 intelligence. Let's use our Grand Soul Gem with our Golden Saint Soul, and we can now create the legendary artifact. Using our Daedric Tower shield, we will have a magnitude of 1 to 89 points as a constant effect to our enchant skill. This is full power. And to a new player, of course, I have to explain myself because you're sitting there like, what the hell? How is this? Watch my enchantment skill. You see how it goes up to 113? If you have a constant effect enchantment, every single time you equip this item, it will select a random number between that magnitude range. And we definitely can equip the highest magnitude range. But if your enchant is 110 or above, all of your cast costs for your enchantments cost 1. Once it's equipped, try not to ever unequip it, because then you'll have to go through this process again. That means you can perform any cast enchantment as many times as the charge says it has. And with that being said, a Golden Saint Soul in a Grand Soul Gem or Azura Star will give you 400 charge every time. So you have 400 uses with anything that you create. And just be sure that when you are creating, the order in which you do things matters heavily. You want the lowest costing enchantments first. As you can see, that was the exact same enchantment, just flipped, and now I'm able to make it. Let's see the power of what we just created.
Hello, Outlander. I hope you won't take too much of my time.
I shall enjoy the last I give up. Let me leave.
And if you have the ability to access an auto-clicker, well then, my friend. You have now just become a god. So I know your next question, alright? You want to know where some more rings are. In order to get more enchantments, we're going to need more rings. Because rings are the best. You're going to want exquisite rings.
Why walk when you can ride?
Exactly. There's no reason to walk. So I'm going to come over to Saran, and we will find a clother here in the middle back of the town. Verarendo. She doesn't actually sell any exquisite items.
My time is precious, so make it quick.
But if we come upstairs, we'll notice that she has this closet here, and it does have what we need. We're gonna have to get a save before interacting with this closet, because this is one of the containers that I was saying randomizes the loot that's inside. You have a chance of getting 2 exquisite pieces of gear at the minimum, and there's 4 pieces of exquisite gear that will spawn inside of here. So I went with 3 exquisite rings, because I am in love with the rings. But I actually tried for quite a while to get 4 exquisite rings, but I don't think that's possible. I think it's split. I think the loot table is split between the lowest being 2 items that you would receive. I don't know that for sure, but it took me forever. I never found 4 exquisite rings. Take my word for it or not. Let's continue here. The inventory is looking hot. 4 exquisite rings. But what about the brocade shirt and the silk pants? Well, in all Rune, we will find such items. At the district manor, the giant crab that people like to live in, apparently, we'll find at the very front, by Vale Tenoran, a clother.
Come on.
Make it quick, Outlander.
Stand around and talk to you.
Who has some work for us. Yenis Sarandas has an overdue payment and will be rewarded with 50 gold. Extremely underwhelming. So we won't actually be returning these items. These are going to be our unique items. We'll head over to Yenis Saranda's house. We'll see that he is pacing back and forth. And as long as we have Flynn in our inventory, we can move forward. Stop moving around, dude. Okay, so the overdue payment, we'll confront him about this, and we'll offer him a drink of fine whiskey. It's actually a pretty interesting read. But at the end of it, we are rewarded with the silk pants. Oh yes, that is right. We have it. The silk pants, the brocade shirt, and if you take a look also at our Flynn, none of the quantity was even lost. It's insane. We also got designer shoes, but we didn't lose any Flynn. That's crazy. We also got a ebony ring and a glass ring, a fire jade amulet as well, and a racer belt that sucks. But at this point, we're going to be wanting to grab the Azura Star. Now, I'm not going to be showing you how to do that, but I will be showing you a spell that could help you get there, help you complete the process a little bit easier. Why don't we take a look, shall we? I would basically compare this enchantment spell to the Icarian Flight scrolls that we pick up in Seyda Neen. This was about the closest that I could get. I mean, maybe there's a different combination of ways, and currently I'm just showing you using levitation to save yourself, but you could really just use the enchantment spell again. But another thing to note here, the trajectory of your jumps are greatly affected by your strength, how much weight you have in your inventory, and if you have slow fall, the enchantment on your person or not. There it is. There's my Daedric shield. Get... Oh, my goodness. Oh, these summons sometimes. And then a back-to-back ebony staff. Oh! Sometimes, man, I'm telling you, these summons, they take forever. Now, I'm not complaining. I think it's rightfully so. But I gotta save as soon as I got stunned. And when you load the save, it loads the stun as well. You know, I'm also not gonna hate on how precise this game is. I love it. This game's precision is on point. So let's calibrate. Let's calibrate our options. Let's see what we got. Incoming data. Now here is a small selection of some of my favorite enchantments, enchant casts, items, legendary artifacts. The amount of different combinations that you have at your fingertips is absolutely incredible. Here at Sadrith Mora, if you're still not satisfied with the amount of rings that I've shown you, well, I've got a selection of 3 more, and I know just the little fetcher that has them.
Make it quick, Altmer.
You see, Brailion here, he's into slavery, but we're here to tell him this new age Nervar isn't down with that old age slavery bullshit. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk behind him, disappear in an instant into the sky. You can actually sneak while you're falling, and airborne, I'm going to rain death down on him. It's funny. You're literally saying that with your last dying breath. No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to be that professional about it. I mean, eventually, the overpoweredness will just flow through your veins and it'll just come naturally to you. But what I'm really trying to show here is if you climb to the top of this route and you pull out your death spell, we have to make sure that we're sneaking. We'll fire this enchant spell, and as soon as we do, we must scoot back so that the terrain of the route actually blocks the vision of who's being contacted with the spell, which will allow us to use that terrain obstruction technique when we steal things to apply to killing people. Yes. And you can see here he actually has a unique ring, but there are 3 exquisite rings in his inventory. Now Braylon here hired one of the Telvanni guards, but as we can see, there's nothing that actually happens. This one Telvanni guard was just a paid off guard. Nothing, no bounty is attached to what we've done. And we're just, that's it. We get 3 exquisite rings.
Speak quickly.
That's unusual.
And we could just teabag his face away. The rest of all
You talk too much, Outlander.
You know what, man? Whatever, dude. I'm just over here enjoying my day, teabagging, okay? So, it doesn't matter. Who cares, man? I don't know what you're talking about, bruh. The amount of love that I have for this game is tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. So I have shown you now how to completely turn your game upside down, and I have shown you holes that you probably have never even seen before. 9 exquisite rings. Yes, that's 9 exquisite rings. So at this point, enchanting is going to be extremely advantageous to your character. So let's talk about it for a little bit. We can see I got jump here, 1 to 15 points as a constant effect enchantment, or we could have a fortify acrobatics for 1 to 47 points. Same enchantment points, but very different outcomes. Or how about my legendary silk pants, which I will use to nullify my fall damage using slow fall. But once I actually get my acrobatics to 100, I would want to switch it over to something like this. And that's because acrobatics works very similarly to enchant.
Yes, what is it?
In the sense where if you get acrobatics to 125 or above, you actually stop taking fall damage completely. So the difference between enchanted gear now versus enchanted gear with all attributes maxed out could be very different. And if you've been wondering why I've been only focused on rings at this point, well, it's for 2 reasons. The first, because of this doofus right here, Mr. Trebonius Artorius, supposed to be the guild master or archmage or something. And the second reason is because amulets weigh 1 weight and rings only weigh 0.1. Also the fact that you can wear 2 rings and you can only wear 1 amulet, but that's besides the point. Mr. Trebonius here, supposedly the archmage, has the item. He has his days numbered, and I'm the one that's next in line to be the archmage, you see? So I'm just gonna taunt him until he can't take it anymore. Look at this, you see?
You're mine.
Let's see what he can do. Absorb that spell. I'm not even going to use my point death spell. It's too powerful for him. Let's just see what he got, and if he can even handle my golden saint. What'd you do here? Drain health? Drain magicka? Weakness? Oh, dude. Oh, dude, no. Yeah, that's it? That's all you did? Yeah, you don't deserve to be the Archmage, alright? You see, no prophecy was disturbed. Nothing like that happened. So the reason why I did that is because he carries the Necromancer's Amulet. This is going straight on. This is going to be straight up equipped. This is the best amulet in the game. And whether or not you obtain this through taunting his ass or the quest at the end of the Mages Guild,
Go ahead.
I am never going to make an enchantment better than this on an amulet. And there's none of the other guild mates do anything to us. Because that was a fair duel between two men. Well, one man and one man-child. And it was a duel. Fair duel. Fair game. But look here, you see? That's the Sylph Strider. And there's the Ferryman. And I'll be completely honest, guys. I don't understand what people are saying when they're confused about Vivec's layout. There's 7 temples. 7 temples, that's it. And if you have a jump spell and you just take an aerial view, how is this difficult? It's not difficult, okay? It's actually, I commend how much effort that they put into these temples. We're going to come over to St. Olms here in the back east corner. St. Olms Plaza. And when we enter the far east gate, here at the top, very tip top, the house directly to the left of the tree and the door will find the St. Olms Haunted Manor. And this is exactly where we want to be. Do you remember at the beginning of the video when we took our boots and our legs and we ran our asses south of Balmora across the bridge all the way to the Vassir-Didanat cave? Well, here at Vivec, we will be putting it to use, finally. There are 3 people that are looking for the location
What do you want?
of this mine. But if we come over to Branora, we will have ourselves a choice of one of these Daedric weapons. Yes, that is correct. At the very beginning of the game, you can straight up get your choice of Daedric weapons. He's the only one with some actually useful rewards. So we're definitely going to tell Branora the location. Now we have completely just excelled ourselves into godhood. Completely. But if you're still not satisfied, if you still need more gold, more equipment, more rings or amulets, I have one final location. Here at the Redoran Plaza, at the Draylor Manor, we'll head all the way up to the 2nd floor, and we'll find the mistress here inside, the Draylor mistress.
I'm waiting.
I'm going to stand in this doorway, right in between its way of closing. And if we close the door, we'll notice we now have an obstructing terrain object blocking the vision of Miss Draylor here. So we can just take that key, take that treasury key right off her hands.
Let's hear it.
And this treasury key doesn't open all of the locks in the Redoran treasury here, but those 2 chests up on the table also do have loot, just to keep in mind. We'll head down to the Redoran vaults, yes, and with the skeleton key, instead of using the treasury key, we can open everything that we need instantly. I'll use my telekinesis to not be affected by that trapped door. That's exactly how you want to interact with any trapdoor moving forward. Just use telekinesis or stand as far away as you can. And now we're going to stand inside of this vault with the door closed and just wait 1 hour. That is until every single guard has left this room. And we'll use the skeleton key to unlock everything that is in this vault. There's a tremendous amount of gold here and downstairs, which you'll see. But there are a couple chests, actually almost all of the chests have a range between the gold that they will have spawned in them and also a range of items that will spawn in some of these chests. So if you're looking for an exquisite ring and an amulet, then get a save before you first interact with one of these chests, and you might just get lucky. I mean, it's real easy actually. You just gotta save, reload until you get it. Simple as that. See, here we go. Bam, boom, damn. We're rocking, baby. That's what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna continue to loot the rest of the gold. Take as much items as you want.
Speak, traveler. Keep moving. We're watching you.
Oh, is that so?
Scout. We're watching you. Scout.
I bet you are. Did you see that? Did you watch that?
Come on. I haven't got all day to stand around and talk to you.
Okay, alright, I get it. We'll head down here, grab another save, and we'll start stealing all the shit, baby. That's what I'm talking about. And if you're over in Cucumber, just use one of those strength potions. We're all gravy. We have completely cleared out this vault.
We're watching.
Oh, you're not doing a great job. All of you are not doing a very good job of moving out of the way or watching me.
Speak freely, friend.
Baby. 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 Yeah, baby, we're here. Baby. Baby. Yeah, baby, we're here. Okay. Alright, guys. Fellas, ladies and gents, you legendary we are here. This is it. There's one final step. We need a good place to sell all of our shit. A consistent location that is safe to sell all of our shit. Mazuranch! This Dremor ruin here has a small island at the very corner of the island's northeast edge. Mazuranch! And we'll find the beautiful legend himself, the Mud Crab. The Mud Crab merchant, baby. I'm talking Mud Crab. He will buy everything, and he has a total of 10,000 big ones. That's what I'm talking about. So here's how they do it. When they're like, you got to find the Mud Crab merchant and you got to move him. All right, I'm going to show you how it's done right here, baby. We're going to grab ourselves a save, and we have 2 enchant spells that we're going to be using that we created ourselves. Mud Crab Bud. Water walking, 71 seconds on target. Command creature, level 1, 71 seconds on target. And then we also have to make the Mud Crab Speed, which is Fortify attribute speed 100 points for 16 seconds on target, baby. And let us see how this all comes together. Now there's something to be said about this little process, this little journey here with Mr. Mudcrab. For one, me doing it for this video was actually the first time I've ever done it, ever. That's like more than 20 years of me knowing about something but never performing it.
What do you want?
So I want a ferry for me and my buddy here. We need to go to Ebonheart. Could you please ferry us there, sir? Thank you. The thing about this whole process is the mud crab has quite a wide body. Hey, and that's not a bad thing, okay? I'm trying to say that we just have to be aware of this, alright? There's actually not too many locations that Mr. Mudcrab here will actually fit through. So with that in mind, I like to take him to Sadrith Mora because I'm guessing it's an orb, a range orb basically, an invisible range orb that this Mudcrab has on the limit that he could follow us, because and what I'm trying to say here is that this orb, this range of him following us, it works vertically. So that's why I like to come to Sadrith Mora, because he will follow you through the doors even if there's a stair there. So as you can see, it's just working perfectly, baby. Just add one more speed and fortification.
Yes, what is it? Greetings. What exactly do you require of me?
I require this mud crab to be all the way in this pocket here, but it doesn't seem like we can do that, so I'm gonna need to use a little TCL to get him there. Just a little extra push. It doesn't matter where you take the mud crab. I like to take him to Sadrith Mora. I wanted to take him to Balmora, but I wasn't able to make him fit. Like, I was able to get him into Balmora. It's just whenever I would teleport to Balmora, I would get stuck inside of him. But that doesn't happen here at this spot in Sadrith Mora. So you can see, after I've sold a whole bunch of heavy items to him, now he can't follow me anymore, and he's just rotating like that. That means he's now stuck forever in that location because of all the weight that he now has on his body. That's exactly what we want. The other thing that we're going to want here, if we head back to Caldera, the Creeper Bud is exactly who we need, baby, to finish out this process. That's what I'm talking about. Both of them in the same spot. Now, if you've already sold him to Creeper, if you already sold items to Creeper, and look at this, he is a creepy little Look at this, dude. That is creepy. At a certain point, when he has 100 points of speed, he just starts teleporting to you. And I think that is the coolest design. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but that is... His aura points are like, you cannot beat the Creeper. Alright? He has the aura. I even almost considered being like, I'm gonna have him follow me forever through our playthrough, and he'll just be my Creeper Bud the entire time, and I have to protect him. That might be a cool ass video. Let me know if you guys want to see that. And by the way, if you guys want to see more, thank you. Please come again. Come on, guys. Subscribe. If you haven't subscribed already, what are you doing? Come and hang out with the creepy mud pals. Come and hang out with the buds, alright? Creeper here, mud crab here. I mean, you can't beat this. Like, there's no getting better than this, alright? Look, help me out. I need the money. I need the money. Come on, help me out. Just subscribe to the channel. Give me a like, a comment on what you'd like to see next. 200,000 gold? Come on, baby. What you talking about here? What is there left to do? Subscribe. That's what's left to do. I love it. 111. Come on, baby. Now that's it. Now all that's left to do is just look at the gold. Just look at our gold. That's what's left. We're just gonna sit here and look at our gold. Perfect. We have the perfect ass right now. So yeah, that's it. Here's the gold. You know you gotta love it, baby.
First the vision, then the conjuration. This is unsettling.